Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Yes. Let's start today with agenda with reading Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, this is my pleasure to welcome you all to this lecture. My name is Indah Riwayati, and I will be your moderator for this session. We have an exciting program lined up, filled with insightful presentation and discussion from our esteemed speaker, who are expert in the respective field. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge our host, HASYIM University, and also CAVITE State University, Philippines, and thank them for making this event possible. We are also grateful to each of you for taking the time to join us today. As you present here reflect the importance of the topic we are about to discuss. Okay. Today's lecture we have two topics, and the first is about learn thinking. Learn thinking, its mean maybe in Indonesia is berpikir ramping. Learn thinking. It's mean that we have to cutting costs, improving quality, and speeding delivery. So this topic is focused on the manufacturing process, maybe. This is right, okay. And this is the manufacturing process. So it's could be all of you is from mechanical engineering and also informatic engineering and chemical engineering, right? So the manufacturing process will can apply this concept, I think. This is right. And then the second topic is about exploring emerging trends and possibilities in the sciences. We aim to provide not just knowledge, but also practical takeaway that you can apply in your own and work in life. Here a quick rundown of how we will proceed. So we'll start with the first topic today. The presentation about learn thinking, cutting costs, improving quality, and speeding delivery. And it will be presented by Dr. Willy C. Bukletin. And we'll end with an open question and answer session. So I encourage you to take a note maybe and prepare for some question for him. And before we start the presentation, I think I will to introduce our speaker today. Dr. Willy C. Bukletin is graduate of Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering from San Sebastian College, Recoletos, the CAVITE, Philippines. And then he is also graduate from Master of Engineering with specialization in Manufacturing Engineering from the Pamantasan Lungsod, Manila. And he is also obtained Doctor of Philosophy in Technology Management from Technological University of the Philippines, Manila. And he is also Dean of the College of Engineering and Information Technology and CAVITE State University in CAVITE. He is also already has so many publications, yeah, including in IEEE, also in Scopus Indexes journal. And then he is also involved in so many funded research projects, yeah. And he already a seasoned presenter, having shared with insight, research finding in numerous national, also international conferences. Okay, now I think please join me in welcoming Dr. Willy C. Bukletin. I think time and place is yours.
So thank you for your time attending this seminar. So, and of course, we are very grateful to have new friends here at UNWAHAS. So, the people here at UNWAHAS are very accommodating, and they are all what we call the happy people. Are you excited this morning? Excited, very good. So, how are you today? Okay, so thank you. So, our discussion focus more on the lean thinking. So, we're going to have the cutting cost, and at the same time, we're going to improve the quality and speeding delivery. So, actually, when we focus more on lean thinking, so our target is more on the waste elimination. We have the pembuangan sampah. So that will be our focus in terms of this topic. So I think all of you are from the engineering, and let's say after graduation, you will join to manufacturing, whether the service or the manufacturing side. And another part of the lean thinking, we need to eliminate waste in order to increase productivity. Kita perlu menghilangkan limbah untuk meningkatan produktivitas. So that is the goal of the lean thinking. Another goal is to produce quality products with less cost. Tujuan kami adalah untuk menghasilkan produk-produk berkualitas dengan biaya lebih murah. So that will be the, am I correct? Thank you. So that will be the goal when we say the lean thinking. Of course, when we join a different organization after our graduation, let's say if we are holding a higher position, let's say we are the supervisor, we are the managers, we are the owner of a certain company, so we need to cut costs, okay? And at the same time, we need to produce quality products. What will happen if we produce low quality products? Maybe a lot of customer will have a complaints, right? And if that case happen again and again, so maybe we will result to bankruptcy. Okay? And another, we need to have speedy the delivery because we have the target delivery schedule set by our customer. We need to comply that based on their set target. Okay, that will be our objectives. We need to provide an overview of lean, provide the basic knowledge on lean tools for removing waste and enhancing the customer value, because we need to always meet or exceed our customer requirements when it comes to the quality characteristics. Another, we need to understand your role, and of course, we need to start lean thinking and begin to apply lean. Whether in your personal life or whether at work or at school, we can apply the lean thinking. We need always to consider what are the following ways that I can eliminate. Okay? So for the introduction, what will happen? Of course, if you are the owner of the company, if you are the managers, your target is always to reach the 100%, right? The 100% target. What will happen if your company only meet 15 to 20% profit per year? Is it okay or not? No, very good. There are a lot of growing pains, a lot of workers' complaints. Okay or not? No. What about there are a lot of rejects? Substandard product. Of course, you did not like to happen that in your company. Another, the inventory in the stockroom grows. Is it okay or not? No, because the money that we spent on the product inside the warehouse can be used to other activities of the organization. Another one, according, for example, to some of you, we could hire more people and buy more machine. Is it advisable or not? You're going to hire more people? You're going to buy more machines? Okay or not? It's a no. Okay? This would cost us a lot. Okay? And we want, for example, if we are the owner of the company or if we are holding a higher position, we would not want to hire more people and to buy a lot of machines. Okay? That will be an additional cost on our part. Another, is it okay to raise the price of the product? Yes or no? It's a no again, okay? So, because in a certain community or in a certain country, we need to follow the average amount of the product. Currently, our customers are asking us to reduce the price of our product. That's why, can you see in our mall, there are a lot of sale? 50% off, 70% off, buy one, take one, okay? Win the heart of our intended customer. Okay. Before we do anything else, we need to become more efficient in our manufacturing or either in the service industry. And we need to find waste in our process and cut it out. Okay? Or eliminate them. Okay? Because that will not add value to our operation. Okay? Another, our goal is to produce more product using our current resources. That's why in our previous discussion, you are not allowed to buy many machines, right? Because it will cost a lot. And we need to lower our stockroom inventory because, of course, if we have the product stock in a long time in the warehouse, what will happen? The money are also stuck in the warehouse. Okay? Accurately forecast exactly how long it takes to make our product and ship them on time to the customer. And another, get all of the needed parts to be assembled at the right time. So our goal is to do it right the first time. At the beginning, we do it right the first time. Okay? Next, why we need to apply lean or what we call the waste elimination. According to Edward Deming, it is not necessary to change. Survival is not mandatory. Are you all open to change? Let's say in terms of technology nowadays, what will happen? So, it is fast evolving when it comes to technology. Of course, as a student or in your generation, you are all open to change. But according to Deming, it is not necessary to change. Survival is not mandatory. What happened to Yahoo nowadays? Do you still use the Yahoo? You are using what nowadays? The Google? Yeah, the Google. Before, during our time, Yahoo is more popular. Maybe there's something wrong that Edward Deming quoted. It is not necessary to change. If you are on the manufacturing or the service industry or you're the owner of the company, we need to embrace change. Okay? Because what happened to Yahoo? Maybe it will not popular now. And I think inside this room, we are no longer use the Yahoo, right? You are using the Google, the, the, the Google Chrome, the Gmail, and other application. But you are no longer using the yahoo.com, okay? So what will happen? There is a problem because we need to embrace the change. Are you familiar with the Kodak? Yeah? The camera and then the film? Why the Kodak? Ma'am, are you familiar with the Kodak? How about you, class? That is more on the brand of the camera, and also before we buy the film to be inserted in the camera. Did you see Kodak now in the market? No. What happened? Why there is a downfall of Kodak? Because, yeah, that's correct. And also, Kodak did not embrace the digital technology. People nowadays, they are using their cell phone to take pictures. Since before we don't have the what we call the Android and then the Apple, so before we are patronizing the Kodak. Since Kodak did not anticipated that the technology will arise in terms of the digital technology, so there is a downfall of Kodak. There is a bankruptcy of the Kodak. Okay? What about Nokia? Did you use Nokia now? Before, my first cell phone is a Nokia 3210. 3210, 3310. Ma'am, did also popular in Indonesia? Before. What will happen to Nokia? Nowadays, we cannot see Nokia brand in the market. Okay? Because of the change. What about Motorola? Is it also popular before in Indonesia? The Motorola? Who uses Motorola now? Some of you will use the iPhone. Some of you will use the Android. Can you imagine what will happen to those big companies before that they are now in the bankruptcy stage right now? Could you imagine? According to Deming, it is not necessary to change. But based on the experience of Yahoo, the Kodak, the Nokia, the Motorola, what will happen? They are now not existing anymore. The same in the Philippines. The mall that is popular before in the Philippines is the Robinson. Yeah, the Robinson. Nowadays, the Robinson is not popular anymore. We have the SM Super Mall. Yeah, the Shoe Mart. That is the popular now in the Philippines. And the Robinson is no longer be popular in the Philippines anymore. So there are a lot of branches of SM even in the province. And then decreasingly the popularity of the Robinson. Okay? So can you get the message in terms of we need to eliminate some waste, we need to embrace the technology, and of course, we need to embrace the different changes. Okay? Okay. Why we need to apply lean? Of course, we need to compete with other organization. Okay? After your graduation, you need to compete with different applicants. Okay? Services or products provided by the competing companies that serve international customers. Another, so why we need to to compete globally? Someone is working to do it for less and at a better quality. Maybe if we did not embrace the change, or let's say in the digital technology, let's say if your company are producing in a manual operation and the other are using the latest technology, what will happen? You will left behind. Okay? And then, okay, customer wants more. Is it true that customer is always right? Yes or no? No. No. Customer is not always right, but the customer comes first, right? If there is a new product to be introduced to the market, they gave samples, they do the feasibility study, you try the sample products, and if that is okay to the market, then they will launch the new product. That is, the customer is not always right, but the customer comes first. Because during the trial period of the new product, you try the sample product. Then if it is okay to the market, then they will produce more and go the mass production. Okay? So customer is not always right, the customer comes first. Next, traditional methods don't work. So, for example, we are always in constant battle with the current system. So, the old operating methods of the company simply don't work anymore. We need to change. We need to update our process, or we need to embrace the latest technology. Okay. So, during our introduction, Lean is more on eliminating waste. Okay? Those waste that does not add value to the operation, we need to cut it, decrease or eliminate it for more efficient production or operation. Another, striving to do more with less and do it consistently. Okay? So, our goal is to produce a quality product with minimum amount of resources at the shortest production time. Okay? When we say lean. And also, lean is the persistent pursuit in the elimination of waste. And of course, through the application of the lean thinking, actually before that is lean manufacturing. So, and then some of the books, they are what we call the lean thinking, because lean is not only applicable to manufacturing. As long as there is a process, as long as there is a beginning and end, we can apply lean, not only in the manufacturing. If you are in the service industry, if you are in the government sector, if you will join, for example, after graduation in the academe, you can apply the lean thinking. That's why it is not only for manufacturing. Okay? Then, lean improves quality of the product, since we're going to eliminate those waste. Of course, improve cost, improve the delivery, the safety, and the morale of the workers. And also, through the application of lean, results in a stable, reliable, repeatable, and a predictable process. Everything goes right in terms of the operation when we embrace the lean thinking. Okay, so what will be our formula when we apply the lean principles or the lean thinking? Of course, we need to have the teamwork. It is not only done by a single individual. It's more on a collaborative effort. Okay? So, form a team of people, the people that actually do the work. Those individuals with the knowledge in terms of the process. Okay? We need to select them as a member of our team. Another, we need to observe, analyze the current situation. Okay? So we need to analyze, we need to check if there is something to improve with the current operation. Another formula, of course, your idea, your suggestion. During the planning stage, your suggestion, our brainstorming process. So some of the members argue with the other just to come up with the right decision. Okay? The team develops ideas on how to eliminate waste. You have a lot of suggestion. You have a lot of queries. You have a lot of questions. Then at the end, the decision is more on a group decision. Okay? Another, it's more on communication. Make sure everyone knows the goals, the changes being made, the successes, and the failures. Okay? So, we need to communicate from the top level to the lower position inside a certain organization. And another one, the culture. Okay? So, it is true that, for example, when we join in a certain organization, the culture is diverse. The same with in the Philippines. If we join a certain organization, there are people from Luzon, from Visayas, from Mindanao. They have different culture and behavior. As an individual, we need to embrace that different culture. Okay? Create a continuous improvement culture. Always consider new ideas. We need to open ourselves to new ideas and suggestions. So, as what we experienced before, those older employees who are working many years in the company, they are not open to change. So, they want them in their comfort zone only. Okay? So, they are always complaining, what will happen to this if we're going to implement the new system? What will happen to us? Are we going to replace by the new system being implemented by the company? The one that is working many years in the company, they are the one that is not open to new ideas. Next. Okay, since we have the formula, so there is what we call the 8 types of waste. In Japanese, that is muda, M-U-D-A. Okay? Okay. Once you join, let's say, in the manufacturing side or in the service industry, probably you will encounter this different of waste. We have the 8 types of waste. In the acronym of downtime, for you to easily remember. Okay? The first one, the defects. Defects is the reject products, right? Okay. It is considered waste when we do the repair or when we do the rework. And also, it involves the cost and effort. The product are already being processed and finished up to the last process. And we found out that there is a defect. What will happen? If we're going to rework or repair the product, there is an additional cost incurred. Maybe we can ask somebody to render the overtime. Additional costs on the part of the company. Okay? Next, second waste, the overproduction. We are not required to produce more. We only required to produce based on the order of the customer. What will happen if the order is only 1,000 pieces and we produce 3,000? The price of the product per piece is 1,000. 2,000 multiplied by 1,000 is how much? It's 2 million. 2,000 multiplied by 1,000, it's 2 million. 2,000 pieces multiplied by 1,000 per piece, the amount. How much is the cost allotted for the overproduction? What if there is no another order coming from the customer? The money is only stuck in the warehouse. Okay? Another, waiting. Waiting in terms of the time. For example, we are waiting to deliver the raw materials ordered in other country. What will happen? Due to waiting or due to the delay in the delivery, there is what we call also the delay in the process in the production. Any non-working time waiting for tools, for example, supplies, parts, and others are considered waste. Okay? Next, the non-utilized talents. So, or the what we call unused talent is considered waste. For example, there are a lot of specialized engineers in the company, but they did not utilize it, they did not give the right job for them. What will happen? We did not use them. That's why it's considered as waste. Or if your work is not aligned to what you are doing right now, it's considered as waste because the company, they did not use you for the right position. Okay? Another, the transportation. Transportation, movement of materials or people from one station to another is considered waste. Okay. Why transportation is considered waste? For example, the first process is located at the fourth floor. The second is at the first floor. For example, if you travel from first floor to second floor, you incurred, for example, 30 minutes. What if, for the total of your shift, let's say for the 8 hours, you incurred 1 hour transportation or traveling time from fourth floor to second floor? If you are required to produce 1,000 pieces per hour, what will happen to your travel time from fourth to second floor? 1 hour. So there is what we call a deduction in your output due to transportation. Maybe due to the poor layout inside the production. Okay? Next, the inventory. Inventory has something similar to overproduction. If you produce more without the right order coming from the customer, of course, we will put that item to the warehouse, subject for inventory. Our goal, for example, if we produce product, is to make it more on the fast-moving product. Meaning to say, when we fast-moving, we can deliver it right away to the customer. What if there are a lot of products subject for inventory? The money are also stuck in the warehouse. That is considered waste. So, those money can be used for other activities. Okay? Next, the motion. Any wasted motion to pick up parts or stock parts, also wasted walking or the unnecessary movement. That's why there are companies that when you enter to that particular process, all of the parts are near in your work area, so that we can eliminate any movement or the walking from one station to another. You can easily find, you can easily reach out those parts or tools in your respective work area. Okay? And the last one is more on the extra processing. Doing more work than is necessary. Meaning to say, there are cases, one operator can move to other machines and can move to other places. So that is considered a waste on the part of the organization. Okay? So those are the 8 types of waste. For you to easily remember, there is an acronym for downtime. Okay? The defects, the overproduction, the waiting, the non-utilized talents, transportation, inventory, motion, and extra processing. Those type of waste did not add value to the operation. Okay? Next. Okay, so how we define value added? When we say a value added, customer is willing to pay for it. What can you consider? The price, the brand, or the quality? Let's say you're going to buy a shoes. What can you consider? The cost, the quality, or the brand? The quality. Maybe some of you will say, I will go based on the brand. Of course, if you go with the brand, it's either much cheaper or much expensive. And some of you will go for the price. Okay? So those value that the customer is willing to pay for it. Another, actually transform a product or service. Can you see, for example, some of the products in the market based on their packaging strategy can easily catch our attention? Can you observe that? Let's say in the mall or in the different market, they have what we call the strategy in terms of the packaging that can really attract the customer. And then another, done correctly the first time, and then when we say non-value added, consumes resources without creating value for the customer. You produce, but this will not add value to the customer. Another, low % of the time work is complete and accurate. If the target is 100%, or if the target is 1,000 pieces, we did not hit that particular target. And requires extra time, effort, or resources. We are required to render overtime due to rejects or repair. We are, even Sunday, we are required to work because of some of the non-value added that we encounter. Okay. Lean is not an acronym. Okay? And it is not a solution to personnel or performance issues because Lean focuses more on the process or the operation. Okay? It is not an initiative to reduce the headcount. Okay, class, we will not implement the Lean principle just to lessen or just to have other employees resign. Okay? It's about improving our service or the delivery. And it is not a silver bullet or the quick fix. So Lean is not, for example, the Lean principle is not simply we implement this and we see the improvement away. Okay? It takes a lot of time before we have that what we call the improvement. Lean does not require the special expertise. If we follow the formula that we discussed before, we can implement the Lean thinking or the Lean principles. Okay? Next. Okay. Where can we use Lean? Probably in the manufacturing. Our goal when we apply the Lean principles, we need to eliminate waste and increase the profit. Okay? That is our goal, to achieve the right amount of profit. Another, Lean can be used, for example, in the offices. We need to eliminate those waste inside our office, reducing the time it takes to process the customer orders. Okay? And then another, Lean can be used in the healthcare, reducing errors and the time it takes to find the critical supplies. And another, how do you describe your workplace? For example, here at the university or at home. Is it a first-class workplace or the work area? No one throws trash around. At our university, we don't have any trash can inside the university. We did not, we have what we call the plastic ban elimination. Only we put a trash can at the female comfort room. And the whole university, the whole inside the university, we don't have the trash can. We practice the garbage in and then the garbage out. My waste that will be incurred, for example, the whole day, I will bring it at home. We don't have any trash can inside the university. We put only a trash bin or trash can for the female CR. And nonetheless, other than that, we don't have the what we call the trash bin inside the campus. So our campus is situated around 70 hectares. And then we don't have any trash bag or trash bin inside the campus. Yeah. And for example, you're going to bring food inside. You're not allowed to put it in a plastic bag. You need to bring your own container, food container. I think it's more on 5 to 8 years that we practice. But during the introductory parts, there are a lot of complaints coming from our stakeholders. But now the students are familiar on the policies. They can really embrace the what we call change. So we eliminate those practice when it comes to the waste elimination. And when it comes to our utility workers who are in charge in the cleanliness, they did not get your waste. For example, in the female CR, if there is what we call, if you did not segregate it. Okay. So during the first 3 years, 4 years of the implementation, so there are a lot of complaints coming from the students, the faculty, and all of the employees. Pero nowadays, they are comfortable with the policy. Next, another. Is it second class? Some people throw trash and some clean. Did you practice this inside the university? Do not practice this one. Okay? You throw the trash and let our utility workers do the cleaning. Do not practice this inside the university. Another, or are you from the third class when it comes to the workplace or the cleanliness? Everyone throws trash and no one cleans. Okay? Okay. So, aren't you frustrated in your workplace? Some of you will say, oh, this position makes me tired. Where is the document? I cannot find it. It takes a lot of time, right? In our 8 types of waste, it's more on, let's say you are searching for the right document. So there is a motion. That is what we call the waste. Oh, time is not enough to complete this work. You render overtime daily, even Sunday. And then, due to tiredness, some of you will say, I cannot remember how will be the next task. Okay? And some of you will say, why I am making mistakes again and again. And why we cannot communicate properly. Okay? Another, are you positive thinker or negative thinker? Diba? There are what we call the common question. And are you thinking negatively inside the box and give up? If you give up, you are not on your 4th year level, right? Next, another. Part of the Lean principle, we need to work together and do something with big positive attitude. I know you exerted a lot of your effort. You portray the right attitude and the behavior. That's why you are on your senior level. So even though you are a positive thinker, you still need something to make your ideas realistic. So that is what we call, you need some of the appropriate tools. That tools is what we call the 5S approaches. Are you familiar with the 5S in terms of the waste elimination? Okay. So I will give you a quick discussion for what we call the common tool, that is the 5S. A simple method for creating a clean, safe, orderly, high-performance the work environment. Maybe after your graduation, when you are working, you can apply this one. Our discussion, you can apply in your workplace. Let's say if you are the manager, the owner of the company, the supervisor, and even in the lowest position, you will not let your workstation untidy or unorganized, right? Okay. The first S is the sort. sort English, seiri the Japanese word, meaning needed from the unneeded. We need to sort what is needed in that particular process or in that particular workstation. Okay? Another S, set in order. Japanese word, seiton. There is a place for everything. That's why you can find it easily, let's say, when it comes to your documents. Next, another S, the shine. Or Japanese word, seiso. Clean and fix it. Another S, standardize, seiketsu, see and recognize what needs to be done. There is a plan to sustain. And another S, sustain, and the most important, the self-discipline. Okay? Or the shitsuke. So, meaning to say, when it comes to the sustain, we need to train people to follow the good housekeeping rules. And some of them, we have what we call the application ng another S, that is the safety. The safety. Okay, let us check one by one. For seiri, that is Japanese word, sort English, Tagalog suriin. Is this familiar in your workstation? That one? What about this one? There are a lot of documents inside the table. Okay? What will be the success indicators? For example, if we're going to apply the seiri or the sort, we need to sort what is needed and unneeded. And some of you, for example, you dispose those unneeded materials. Area save or percentage of space available, right? If we sort everything that is unneeded in the process, we can save an area. And of course, there are a lot of space available. Next, seiton in Japanese, English, systematize, and Tagalog, sinupin. Sorry, I did not translate it to Indonesia, the bahasa. Okay. What can you see in the picture? It's very hard for you to check. Okay? Oh. What will happen to the next picture? Do you want your cabinet at home like this? You cannot find, for example, oh, where is my book in that particular subject? Where is my research project or my reviewer? And then another one. What about this one? Maybe a lot of things are in one place only. Okay, what will be the indicator? Part of the seiton. Can you see the difference? We systematize, we arrange everything. Okay? And then, you put label. There is a systematic arrangement and labeling. Is it easy to find something when you practice this one? When you arrange something, then when you put label. You can practice at home, even though you are a student. Some of you are cramming when you wake up in the morning, and then you find something, and then, oh, maybe I cannot find my book, my assignment, or whatever, and then maybe I can go at the school very late due to searching for the items. Okay, what will be the indicator? You will save a time in looking for the right document or in searching and doing the process. Okay? So, can you understand? Let's say we implement the systematic approach or the seiton. We can save the time in searching or looking for the document. Next, the next S. Shine, sweep, simutin, Japanese, seiso. We need to eliminate trash, filth, and other foreign matters for a cleaner workspace. Cleaning as a form of inspection. Okay? What will be the indicator? We need to decrease in accidents. For example, if you are in the manufacturing or if you are already working, and equipment downtime. Next, we have the seiketsu. Maintain a high standard of housekeeping and workplace organization at all times. What will happen in this picture? It's very organized. Okay? And then, part of the S, we have the seiketsu. There is a one is best campaign. We need to implement one location filing, 1 day processing only in terms of the request, 1 hour meeting. Because, for example, if you are already working and you consume 3 to 5 hours meeting, what will happen? It's considered as a waste, right? The 3 to 5 hours meeting, it's very exhausted on your part. Debating for nothing. And 1-page memo, 1-minute phone calls, and 1 copy filing. Okay? So 1 is best campaign. Next, another part of the self-discipline. Do things spontaneously without being told or ordered. Okay? When you are, for example, after your graduation, so do not let your attitude or behavior just simply, you are working because there is a manager or supervisor inside that particular work area. Okay? With or without our boss, we need to perform better. Okay, we need to train people to follow good housekeeping rules autonomously. And what will be the key principles? We need to have our habit formation, discipline people, and we need to empower employees. We need to feel to our employees the feeling of self-belongingness. Another, okay, what can you see, the before and after? If you implement it, for example, at home or in our office. What can you say in the before picture? It's very hard for you to select, to look, let's say, what document you are needed. But due to the implementation of the 5S, what will happen to the after? It's very organized. Can you get it, the implementation of the 5S or the lean thinking? Whether in our personal lives or at work. Another, what can you say when we implement the lean thinking and then the 5S? What can you say on the picture above? It's very messy. And then after we implement it, what will happen? It's very organized. So you felt that you are always excited to go at work due to organized workstation. Okay? Another, what will happen? If you're the manager and then you practice the left picture, maybe you are not an effective leader. Through the implementation of the what we call the 5S, integrating the lean principles, what will happen to the workstation? The after. There is a what we call space saving, an organized, very organized area, and it's not very tedious on our part if we can see that particular layout. Okay. Aside from the technical skills, we need to practice the soft 5S practices. Contact people with a big smile. Do you want, for example, your manager or your supervisor, when they go to work early in the morning, they are always shouting. They are always, for example, you felt that they bring all the problems inside the work area. Do you want that? No, probably no. And if you are the leader, let's say after your graduation, and then you are the manager, the supervisor. Don't do that. Okay? It is important for us to practice the 5S soft skills. Okay? Okay. Be a good listener. Okay? And then demonstrate team spirit. Conduct yourself as the member of a reputable organization. You act decently. Okay? You speak. Okay? And you work professionally. Be punctual. Always keep your workplace clean and tidy. And observe the safety rules strictly inside any organization. Okay? So aside from the 5S or the technical skills, we must also implement what we call the 5S soft practices. Okay? Because this can motivate our workers, our subordinates, or our employees. It's not always that we know a lot of process or the procedures. What matters most is we need also to implement the soft 5S practices. Next, what will be the impact if we're going to implement the 5S? Of course, efficiency. We come up with the right output at the right time and at the right cost. Okay? And quality also, as per requirement by the customer. Then we can produce the product timely. Then we can contribute to the profitability of the company. And it's more on cost effective if we implement the 5S principles. So 5S makes a pleasant workplace quality, helps in work efficiency, helps to lead better quality of life. Okay? If you can see the before and after, then leads to first class area. The one that I asked you before. Helps gain respect of others, makes people admire you, and makes you a better person. Okay? Could you remember the 5S? It's more on the self-discipline. Okay? What matters most in the implementation is our behavior and our attitude. Okay. So what are the critical success factors in the implementation of Lean? We need to have our commitment. Okay? We need to train our workers. We need to have a plan and follow it up. Allocate resources and share the gains, and we need to use Lean tools and methods. So there is what we call the discussion per indicator. We need to commit to the Lean program. Okay? This involves ongoing communication. We need to disseminate to our workforce or our employees, listening to the suggestions and questions from employees, and explaining why Lean means change for the better. Okay? So another discussion pertaining to the Lean, it's more on we change for the better. Okay? Another, we need to train the workforce. Okay? We need to orient them. And then we need to provide them what we call the seminar or the training. The third one is have a plan and follow it up. So we need to have a plan for us to come up with a common direction. Okay? We need to have a plan for us to achieve what will be the goal of our organization. And the fourth one, of course, we need to allocate resources and share the gains. So allocating the necessary resources to assist implementation and then share the gains with all employees. Then the last one, use Lean tools and methods. We need to apply what is applicable for the process or the operation. And that ends. Any question? Before we end, I can ask you for the evaluation after the question and answer. So thank you for listening, and we are now
I think we come to the question and answer session maybe. Okay. You will stand. Oke. Sekarang sesi tanya jawab ya, oke bahasa Indonesia. Silahkan yang mau bertanya, misalnya pakai bahasa Indonesia tidak apa-apa. Nanti saya bantu untuk translate. Silahkan. I think we will start. Maybe we have 4 sides here. Maybe for the first side here and here there is a representative for each side to ask a question maybe for those sides. Yes, okay. Thanks. Bisa dibantu? Please mention your name and also your department maybe. Thank you.
My name is Sultanul Islam from Teknik Informatik Engineering. I have a question about 5S, the 5S method. Can we also implement the 5S method to the academic environment? Like, how do we use the method of 5S that so we can use it to the academic environment? That's it. My question.
Okay, thank you.
So actually, even though you are on your as a student, you can implement the applicable S, or probably you can implement those 5S. For example, when sorting for the needed and unneeded, if you can see the picture, and then another one, if we can, for example, clean your work area at home, or let's say inside the university, you contribute not to do the waste inside your laboratory, and you return your tools at the proper location, and then you clean the room before you leave, and at the same time, for example, inside the classroom, you simply arrange the chairs before you leave. You can implement even though you are a student.
Okay, thank you. I think we can implement the 5As in our academic environment. That's I think 5As we can implement in all of our life sector. I think in our daily life we can implement it too. It is right? Yes, right. Okay. Thank you for the question. And the next question maybe for this line, who will ask? It's okay in bahasa. In bahasa Indonesia is okay.
We will translate it.
Yeah, I will try to translate it. And here, maybe we will apply the equality principle after.
Yes.
When maybe one girl from chemical engineering. Maybe from here. This line, the right side, okay. There's no other.
Did you experience, for example, you woke up in the morning and then you look for your uniform, you look for your socks, your shoes, and even your school materials? Did you experience that? And then you are in a hurry or cramming that, oh, maybe I can go to the school very late because I'm still looking for some of my things, which is not very organized. So from that simple problem, you can simply apply the 5S principles. It's better for you to apply at home so that when you go outside at your home, you can practice at the outside.
Yes, this is very right. Okay, the next question, I think, Dr. Willy, please stand up.
My name is Muhammad Arif Maulana. I am from Informatic Engineering. My question is, what is the best way to make 5S as a good habits?
What is to make the best way?
So
That's all?
one of the best way is to practice the right attitude, the right behavior of a certain individual. That is the key to the full implementation of 5S. So for us to sustain, for example, if our university, let's say, embrace with the implementation of the 5S, and what will happen if our student did not follow it? There is for example, the lack of commitment of our students, and one best way is our commitment through the right discipline and the behavior of a certain individual. If we can, for example, apply it to our work, what will happen if there are a lot of improvement inside the company of or a certain organization? If we did not follow it, what will happen? If we are always resisting for the change, what will happen? That's why the best or the key solution is our discipline or our right behavior.
Okay, that's all I think. Thank you, Rahmli. Okay, maybe for other question. Oh, that's good. This is the girl representative.
My name is Firliana Ayu Febrina. I'm from Chemical Engineering. The question is, how can technology be used to improve product design and manufacturing process? And can you give us 2 examples?
Okay, so one of the best example, for example, let's say, in the Philippines, we experience, let's say, we are on the manual operation. So we used to produce product 100% manually. So due to the invention of the latest technology, we adapt what is the appropriate technology for us to compete with other organization. But it depends upon to the budget allocation. Another one, for example, if you are at the warehouse, you need to implement some of the software needed for you to easily do the inventory of the products, even the materials, or even our tools and equipment. Okay? So the technologies is essential nowadays, particularly whether in the manufacturing or the service industry. Okay. When I was working in the Philippines, before I joined the academe, so I own my 20 years in the academe, and then I have my 8 years working experience in the manufacturing. When I was working in the Philippines, we used to operate, for example, 1 machine for 1 employee. Then when the company in the Philippines sent me to Japan, we operate 5 machines. 1 operator, 5 machines, because of the latest technology. But when we are in the Philippines, it is a 1-to-1 ratio. Then when we go to Japan, so I managed to operate 5 machines due to the implementation of the appropriate technology.
I think that's really good. This, okay. The next question, maybe, brother. Okay. That's it.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
My name is Abilujda, Informatic Engineering. How to match the lean thinking with keep traditional methods in producing some product due to culture and uniqueness. Apa? Pakai bahasa Indonesia ya?
Boleh.
Bagaimana memadukan pikiran lean dengan metode tradisional dalam memproduksi suatu produk karena budaya dan keunikannya.
Bagaimana memproduksi? Saya tidak begitu dengar.
Bagaimana memadukan pemikiran lean dengan metode tradisional dalam memproduksi suatu produk karena budaya dan keunikannya.
Yes, I think it's more necessary. He want to ask how to combine the lean thinking into the unique manufacturing processing or traditional manufacturing processing?
So actually, when we implement, for example, the lean principles or the lean methodology, so it is not exactly, for example, let's say we are on the traditional way, we cannot implement lean. No, that's wrong. Even though it's more on the traditional or the latest manufacturing setup, we can still implement lean on both the setup. As long as there is a process, as long as there is a beginning and end, we can implement the lean principles, whether the traditional or the latest technology implemented inside the company.
Ya, baik. Jadi kira-kira mau tradisional, unik, itu bisa menerapkan lean thinking ya. Jadi lean thinking itu asalkan ada proses dari bahan baku sampai produk atau ada proses di situ, pasti bisa menerapkan lean thinking begitu. Jadi tinggal melihat seperti apa dulu manufacturingnya masing-masing. Jadi kita harus menganalisis dari manufacturingnya. Begitu kira-kira ya, Mas? Ya, oke. Okay, for the next question, this side.
Very good. There are a lot of questions. Yes. Try to ask question because this moment today will serve as a memory.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hanya hari ini bertemu dengan Dr. Willy, maybe. Yeah.
My name is Arvian Kaditya Pratama. My major is Informatica Engineering. My question is, how to build workstation, healthy workstation as a student? Thank you.
You got it?
How to build healthy workstation as student?
As student?
Yeah, sebagai mahasiswa. Bagaimana cara membuat lingkup workstation buat mahasiswa.
Speakernya agak ke atas. Gak terlalu gede.
Bagaimana caranya membuat workstation yang baik untuk mahasiswa?
Workstation.
Yeah, workstation.
Workstation for students.
For students.
Oh, yes.
Actually, the training that you get here at UNWAHAS will serve as your foundation. So, if you portray the right attitude, if you always cooperate to what you are doing, then those practices that you implement here inside the university you can bring outside the real world. So you can also implement that, for example, to actual scenario or to the actual work.
Yes, mungkin yang penting pertama adalah behavior tadi ya, terutama sekali disiplin. Jadi dimanapun berada, itu menerapkan 5S tadi sebagai lean thinking tadi salah satunya. Lah itu pertama adalah behavior, disiplin, menuruti aturan dan sebagainya. Itu yang seperti yang dijelaskan seperti itu, maksudnya gitu. Ya. Okay. Next question, maybe it's still there is okay. I think the time is up. We come to the end of today's lecture, and thank you for all the participants who come here, and also thank you for Dr. Willy who share all. Okay. The information what? Presentation or what?
No, I have my evaluation.
Evaluation, okay. Evaluasi. Mohon untuk dapat mengisi form evaluasi ini ya. Jadi Google Form mungkin nanti akan di-share melalui WhatsApp atau bisa difoto. Oh ini, bisa di-scan. Bisa di-scan saja. Nanti silahkan untuk diisi untuk evaluasi. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Prof. Willy.
This session is very more active. So that's why engineers are very active. So you portray that attitude, especially when you go outside the university after your graduation. So thank you for your cooperation, and we are very grateful to meet new people, to have new friends in other countries.
Mungkin pengumuman setelah ini juga ada evaluasi, kemudian ada presensi. Presensi ini nanti akan dapat sertifikat. Jadi silahkan untuk mengisi presensi itu. Baik, thank you again Dr. Willy for share experience, kemudian information and everything.
Can I have group pictures later?
Oke. Oh ya, mungkin foto bersama ya. Which one do you want? Stand over here or there? Up here and student will. Yes. Oh, in front of student up. Oh. Oke, kita di depan aja. Mbak Sita suruh berdiri. Oke. Oke. Mohon untuk berdiri. Mau minta untuk foto? Ya. Silahkan berdiri ya.
Uncertainties. One of the best example of uncertainties that we have is the COVID-19. That is actually unprecedented. Nobody anticipated it. So if we just have the time or the manner on how we could prepare for the future, even if the unprecedented one, we can have a good future ahead. So is there a well-being? Are you in good health, mentally, physically, and emotionally? Are you resilient enough to overcome the obstacles that you have as you go along the way? So those are the things that we need to ask ourselves in order to become future ready. Next slide, please, sir. Okay. So during the fourth industrial revolution, so these are the things that transpired or occurred. We have the steam and water, we have the mechanized production. Electricity, there is a mass production of electricity. And then we have automate production, electronics and information technology, and fusion of technology such as velocity, scope, and systems impact. Next slide, please, sir. So during the fourth industrial revolution, the possibilities of billions of people connected by mobile devices, that is one of the greatest contributions of the fourth industrial revolution, because we are now interconnected with one another. As you can see, when I was young, we don't, if we want to talk to our friends, if we want to talk to our family members, we do that face to face. We need to be in the same place at the same time, or we can use the telephones. But nowadays, even if I'm in Indonesia, I can still talk to my children. I can still talk to my mom. I can still talk to my sister due to the advent of mobile phones. Of course, there is a debate if that is really good for the society or bad for the society, because we don't now practice face-to-face interaction just like before. But of course, it is a good thing because we can communicate anywhere and everywhere. With unprecedented processing power, storage capacity, and access to knowledge are limited, energy storage, and quantum computing. Next, please, sir. So we have human impact on planet Earth. So we people are the most mobile and the most influential when it comes to the impact to our environment. Whether we admit it or not, the planet or the Earth can survive even without humans, right? For the longest time, it can survive by itself. But as we inhabited the community, we already created a drastic change in terms of ecology. So what are those? Changes in season. So we have climate change, which is inevitable nowadays. We, as humans, we are the one who increases the fast-paced growing climate change. We also have increased weather events. Impact on food production. Since there is an increase in population, there is also increase in overconsumption. So the more people there is in the world, the more consumption that we'll be having in our environment. So that goes hand in hand. So we need to do something about it in order for our system to be sustainable. The next one is places suitable for habitation. As what I have mentioned, some of the rice fields, some of the forest, they are now being converted into villages, into subdivisions where people need to habitate. So as I have mentioned, there has to be a balance between where we live and ecological balance as well. We have impact of extractive industries and increase in wars and tribalism. Next, please, sir. We have what we call the Anthropocene. So when we say Anthropocene, anthro meaning humans, so there is really a great impact on every aspect that we do on the planet. So we have anthropogenic factors that causes the deleterious effect to our environment as well. So the Anthropocene defines Earth's most recent geologic time period as being human-influenced or anthropogenic based on overwhelming global evidence that atmospheric, geologic, hydrologic, biospheric, and other Earth system processes are now being altered by human. So that is the sad reality actually. So we need, next please sir. So we need to redefine our why. We need to ask these questions. What are we preparing our young people for? What are the skills? What are the capabilities and the dispositions they will require to thrive in the future? Of course, values formation is important as well. So even if you are gaining more skills, more knowledge as you enter the university, of course, values formation is of course important. Is this as important as those of character development is as important as your knowledge development? How might we enable them to shape the world they are developing or going to develop? Next, please. We have what we call, next please sir, we have the 10 trends that we need to consider in having, can I stand up? Okay. This is the clicker. Okay, thank you. Here's the clicker. Okay, so these are the 10 trends. Can I just stay here? So these are the 10 trends that we need to consider in order for us to prepare for the future. So we need to determine or identify the patterns that we are having on our day-to-day activities. We have the general direction that we are going. It is important that we, like in UNWAHAS, we go for the same goal or we go for the same directions. We have the regular change over time. Of course, change is inevitable and we need to change continuously for improving our daily lives and the general course that we are traversing or we are heading and prevailing tendencies which are not actually predictions. So we have 10 trends here. There are 5 10 trends. We have economic, process, structural, technology, and cultural. So under the cultural, we have 2 trends. The first one is well-being and cultural narratives. So when we say well-being, it is one of the most important things that we need to consider when we are planning for our future. When we say well-being, it's not just mental, it's not just physical or health, it has to be mental and emotional as well. We also have the cultural narratives. And then for the technology, we have the social mapping and real-time reporting. For structural, we have school as part of community, changing role of teaching, and processes, we have micro-credentialing and big data and small data. And lastly is we have the economic, understanding success, and human capital. Okay, so let's discuss them one by one. For the cultural, this is the product of beliefs, perception, relationships, attitude, and written and unwritten rules that would shape our future. We have what we call the super diversity. Since nowadays, cross-cultural exchange is very important. Are there foreigners here? Are there foreigners here? So all of you are Indonesians. So in some faculty or in some schools, they are super diverse in terms of population of students. There are many foreign students as well. So in every culture that we experience, you always need to respect all your students, all your classmates rather. We have digital fluency. You people right now, or younger generations right now, are very much lucky because most of you are digitally fluent. So most of the people who are in the older ages are not digitally fluent. But they are very hard to cope up with the digital fluency. But you younger generation, you are of course very lucky that you are digitally fluent. And of course, digital citizenship, identity and privacy, cyber safety is very important for young people as well. Global collectedness, deprivatized practice, learner agency, and artificial intelligence. Okay, so we also have the place-based education. We have having 3 stands. This is a place-based curriculum that lets students examine how knowledge and events from their feet stand. So it is very important for academic institutions to know what the students want, because not all students learn the same way, the way other students do. So it varies, every student varies, learning capacity, learning capabilities, learning standards vary from one student to another student. A place-based pedagogy that takes into account their tinka or where you are teaching, and the idea of challenging your own taken for granted world. We need to consider all of this every time we want to prepare for our future. Okay? The next one is technology. For the technology, we have 2 trends. The first one is social mapping and real-time reporting. So when we say technology, this is the pervasive nature of change that occurs when a new technology is occurred. So what are the things that we need to consider? First is equitable access, identity and access management. We also have system integration, mobile and touch technologies. Now everything is touchscreen. Everything is basically at the tip of your finger. Before, when we are doing our researches, we still use the index cards wherein we jot down all the references and all the notations by the authors. But right now, you can just screenshot it. You can search at the tips of your fingers, and then all the resources or all the researches are within your reach. We also have big data and analytics. We have 3D printing, virtual and mixed reality platforms, artificial intelligence, the cloud, and the blockchain. Of course, artificial intelligence, we are all familiar with the very popular nowadays ChatGPT, right? Is ChatGPT famous here? Which is the enemy of the lecturers, actually. So some of the lecturers don't like their students use ChatGPT because it would hamper the critical thinking of students. But of course, at some point, we need to embrace the artificial intelligence because it would help us as well. We just need to regulate the use of this artificial intelligence because it hampers creative thinking on the other hand. Okay. So we also have real-time reporting. So for the real-time reporting, my question to you is that, is it okay for you if your parents see your actual scores in exams? Is it okay for you to let your parents know? No. Same thing with the other class. They don't like their parents to be knowing what their actual scores are in each and every activity that they have. But of course, some of the educational institutions are now finding ways or finding solution on how your parents or guardians, since they are the one who is paying for your tuition fees, can check your progress in school. So these are just some of the things or some of the applications that they use in order to inform your students or guardians on your progress in school. This is the real-time reporting. Okay, and then we have structural. This pertains to educational institutions are by nature very reliant on their structure that gives them their identity and serve to support. So what are the things that we need to consider in terms of structural identity? We have network communities, community focus, private-public partnerships. So before, it is very rare for a private and public institution to be interrelated or to be partners. But right now, since we are living in a collaborative world, it is very common for private and public institutions to do collaborative works and collaborative activities. Okay? Alternative forms of assessment, learning record stores, learning ecologies, and virtual learning. So changing roles of teachers. Before, it is very clear to us what the roles of lecturers are. They are just there to share their straightforward knowledge, teach you the skills that you need to learn, that you need to understand. But right now, there is a shift of roles of teachers. If we will be having the same thing over and over again, definitely lecturers can be replaced by robots by 2027. Like right now, you can create a specific lecture, you can just tape it using the artificial intelligence and send it to students. Definitely, that manner or structure can replace teachers by robots. What are we going, or what should the lecturers do in order for them to be not to be replaced by robots? Nowadays, teachers, I know Ma'am Riwai will agree with me. They are now facilitators, not instructors. When we say facilitator, they facilitate the flow of knowledge. The knowledge does not only come from herself, but should also come from other students. Because somehow, due to the digital age, you are now equipped with other knowledge aside from the knowledge that is given by your instructors. So you need to be adaptive and responsive. You need to be, the manner of teaching has to be personalized. Of course, different students have different manner on how they could learn. So they should not be limited to a one-size-fits-all type of delivering their knowledge. So it has to fit the specifics of the student, because one student will definitely learn from one student into another. The learning style varies. Accessible anytime, anywhere at any time. You should inspire, nurture, and care as well. Okay, for the processes, so simply put, process may be understood as the way we do things. We need to change leadership if applicable. We also have design teaching. Gamification is very popular nowadays because we all know that young people like you love games, right? You love games. So gamification is one way on how teachers can catch the attention of their students. Deep learning, inclusive education, collaboration, and data science. When we say collaboration, you within your students can collaborate with one another through group works or group activities. Okay. And then for the economic, the way we generate wealth and the skill sets required to contribute to this are key elements in economy. We have the computational thinking, the future workforce, future of work, sustainability, openness or the STEM. We have the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or the STEAM, science, technology, engineering, architecture, and math, and automation. We need to understand success because, of course, the definition of success varies from one person to another. My definition of success may be raising my children well, letting them go to school, while Sir here can have the meaning of success with lots of money. So different people have different definition of success. Okay, so human capital. Every school should encourage its students to try and make sense of the most pressing issues defining our time. So it's very important for you to listen to the news, to be aware of what are the social issues that are pressing right now, because from there, we could plan ahead of our future, because the learnings that we have today will shape our future as well. So we have another set of questions here. What is important to know in the knowledge age, and where does this come from? How are we going to learn, and who owns the knowledge? So who owns the knowledge? Knowledge is the stuff that we take in. So knowledge is true, correct, and should be factual. And it is sometimes stable that accumulates slowly over time. New knowledge build on older knowledge. So when we say it builds over time, it is not, the important thing is you learn every day. Because as I have mentioned earlier, different students have different learning styles. Some students learn faster than their classmates. But as long as there is a learning on a daily basis, even if how small it is, as long as you are moving forward, of course, it is important as well. There are different branches of knowledge called disciplines or subject, and discipline has its own way of doing things. Since you are in the Faculty of Engineering, the way you think is entirely different from those in the discipline of like journalism or social sciences or medical professions or allied medical profession. You think differently from one another. Aside from that, knowledge is dynamic and key to the process of creating new knowledge. It comes into being just in time to solve specific problems as they emerge, and it is no longer possible to accurately predict exactly what knowledge people will need to draw on as they move on through life. Okay, so another questions here is that what's the most exciting? What are the major benefits to teachers and learners, and what are some of the pitfalls? So these are some of the beliefs about technology. It could either be repetition or transformation. So when we say technology, it is the direct substitute for other forms of learning, and it can augment or improve other forms of learning. When we say transformation, technology allows for significant redesign of learning, or this is what we call the innovation aspect of technology. So it allows for creation of new approaches to learning, which are previously inconceivable. So these are the things that we really don't know that would happen in the future, and it has the capacity to transform teaching as well as learning. Okay, so we have here some of the representation, vision of learning and technology, and then who owns the knowledge. So on the lower portion, this is the individual or individual perspective. And then our ultimate goal is to have a collective opinion on it. So here on the lower aspect, lower right side, we have the personal orientation, innovation is resisted. That is the least ideal. Innovation is resisted. You are only bounded within the confines of your community. There is no innovation that could happen. The next one is isolated pockets of innovation, lack of skill. There is an innovation, but very minimal. But if you tend to have collective knowledge of it, so collective frustration, cynicism, and prevalent, and then this one on the upper left hand, that is the ideal scenario or the ideal future wherein potential of the 21st century learning is realized. So another thing here is that transmissive models passing on essential knowledge only, basic knowledge only. Individual student-led increase in project, teacher-led increase in groups. So as I have mentioned, there has to be a balance between the teacher's knowledge and the student knowledge. The teacher always have to ask for the opinion of their students, and of course, the highest form or the ideal future is that we have a high degree of learner agency as well as voice. So what is the role of governance? Of course, governance plays an important factor for our future. So school vision, values, and mission. Okay, so does UNWAHAS have mission, vision, and values? Do you have? So the mission, vision, and values binds us together so that we would know what specific track are we going to traverse. Without any mission and vision, it would be very difficult for the administrators and the lecturers wherein they can guide you towards the future. Expectations of leadership, what are the expectations of the administration, and what are your expectations from the administration? So design of learning environment, curriculum design, delivery, and assessment. So every now and then, educational institutions revise or improve their curriculum. So why is it that there is a need to revise the curriculum? For one, because of the changing, ever-changing or diverse industrial needs. So if the needs of the industry does not, or the curriculum does not answer or does not suffice the needs of the industry, then there is a need for you or for your institution to upgrade your curriculum. And of course, the most important thing is for them to consider your well-being and safety. All of this will all come to waste if the well-being and the safety of the students is not being considered. Okay, so we have the art of creative thinking. Okay, so nowadays, creative thinking or design thinking is non-linear. So non-linear because students nowadays think differently. Okay, as I have mentioned earlier, you are not created inside a box. So before, when I used to study, my mother scolded me every time that I play music when I study. But I know right now, most of the students cannot study without a background music. Am I right? You need to have background, case in point, sir. He has earphones. So they cannot study without music at all. Like my children, they need to listen to Spotify while they are studying. Because learning right now is non-linear. It could be diverse, just like this random lines here. So when we are talking about design thinking, okay, the first thing that we need to ask is, think, what is the problem? Or what are the possible problems that can we address? If you do not know what the problem is, then definitely you cannot create solution. Acknowledging the problem and acknowledging that there are possible specific problem is the key component to design thinking. And then we need to create prototype, test, and learn, and build, develop, to evolve. Okay. So, due to advent of time, we cannot have this activity anymore. So, the plan is to have an activity regarding different biological emerging trends in biology. So, you can do this on your own if you want to, with a group of friends. Okay, so we have here what we call the future innovation designs. Okay, the future innovation designs wherein you are going to choose a theme, and then you are going to create a signals. You need to find at least 4 signals to change within the problem. You have to think about a product or about a problem, and then you create or you think of what can be done about that product. Example, you want to sell a shoe, okay? Nike shoes, example. So, if you are wearing a Nike shoe, what are your complaints about your shoes? Are there anything that you want to improve on that? So, you need to jot down all the things, you need down all the things in this area, okay? And then you create a future scenario. So in creating a future scenario, you need to visualize what is the future of these rubber shoes. What is the future of the sneakers? So do I want this to be an amphibian shoes? Do I want the shoes to be hydrophobic? It repels water as I walk onto the rain. So you need to create a future scenario. And for the adjacent, you choose a group of friends, and then all of you should contribute. So what are the few, you are going to enumerate what are the future, or what do you think is the best thing that you can do about that sneakers. And then you are going to jot down the most risky assumption out of all the things that you've listed. And lastly is to formulate how you could test your most risky assumption. So this is supposed to be an activity, but due to advent of time, we cannot do that anymore. Okay, so these are the latest trends in life sciences and technology. This is actually the field of life sciences that presents many opportunities and is constantly growing due to advances in computing and materials. So these are different life sciences and technology as well. I'm going to my laptop. Thank you. Okay. I'll try to finish. Okay. So for the field of life sciences, presents many opportunities and is constantly growing due to advances in computing and materials. Science, of course, science and technology is a crucial combination for us to address the pressing problems in healthcare and beyond. Okay, so we have what we call biotechnology. When we say biotechnology, it is the use of biology to develop new products as well as methods and organisms intended to improve human health as well as the society. So modern biotechnology focuses primarily on medicine. Unfortunately, we don't have any medical students here. So in these fields, small startup could occur, and then multinational pharmaceutical companies and government research agencies uses biotechnologies to develop new treatment options to rare complex diseases and genetic tests to better identify the inherited diseases. So biotechnology is very important. Of course, the vaccines for COVID-19 is actually a product of biotechnology. On the fields of biotechnology, it also includes, it is not limited to medicine or allied medical health. It can also be used in agriculture, alternative energy, and environmental science as well. Okay, so these are, when can I back, where can I back it? This one. Okay, these are the different types of biotechnology. We have, for the red, we have the medical and pharmaceutical. For the white or gray, it pertains to industrial. And then we have, for the green, which pertains to agricultural biotechnology. For the gold, this is the bioinformatics and data. For the blue one, it pertains to marine and aquatic environments. For the yellow, we have food production. For violet, we have governance of ethical consideration. And last one, for the dark or for the black, it is for the biological warfare. So these are some of the types of biotechnology which is evident nowadays. Okay, so aside from that, aside from the types of biotechnology, we also have the branches of biotechnology. We have animal biotechnology, wherein we use animals to create biotechnology. We have medical biotechnology, which is the most common. We also have industrial biotechnology, environmental biotechnology, and plant biotechnology. So we have the artificial intelligence. So the artificial intelligence enables biotechnology startups to automate a wide range of processes, helping them scale up their operations. For instance, biopharmacy startups leverage artificial intelligence to speed up the drug discovery processes, screening of the biomarkers, as well as scalping through the scientific literature to discover novel products. And aside from that, this is the image classification algorithms that allows rapid detection of different traits, such as cancer cells and other from medical scans, or crop diseases symptoms, all from the leaf images. So we use artificial intelligence to discover all of those things. Okay, so another thing is the big data. So there is an unprecedented amount of data available on biotechnology today. So from the ever-growing genomics or omics or other forms of things or technology integrated of sensor and the Internet of Things or IoT devices. So big data and analytic solutions allow biotechnology startups to tap into this wealth of data to drive innovation. So it allows biopharmacy companies to recruit patients for clinical trials and more effectively. So when we say clinical trials, before if you're not familiar with it, I'm just going to explain it to you. Before the medicine or the vaccines is being released in the market, there has to be a clinical trial because it has to be safe for the consumption of human. So for the clinical trial, you need to get specific number of individuals before it can pass the clinical trial. So if it's safe for the public, and unfortunately, not many people are open to the clinical trial. And of course, they are worried about their safety regarding for the effectiveness of the product itself. And then aside from that, they need to improve crop and livestock varieties and explore undiscovered microbiomes. So microbiomes, they're also very important. First of all, in ecology, it's important because it serves as your bioremediation, like in fighting dengue. Is there a dengue fever here? Dengue fever syndrome that is actually a fatal disease in the Philippines, wherein it is through the mosquito bite. Mosquito bite. And then for bioremediation, you release specific enemy of the mosquito, wherein they fight the mosquito so that they won't be spreading the disease itself. So that's what we call bioremediation. Okay, so aside from that, we also have gene editing. When we say gene editing or the genetic engineering, it has become a long way from random insertions of foreign DNA. So example, for the gene editing, you want a blue rose. You need to remove or you need to insert one specific gene that would become the rose blue in color. Or example, you want a cow or a calf meat that is very soft or tender. You need to know the specific gene sequence wherein you can cut that specific portion, wherein all the ligaments that makes the meat hard, they need to remove it. Okay. Example, you want to have a decaffeinated coffee from a tree. So they need to identify the sequence of the gene that contains the caffeine sequence, and then they're just going to remove it. That is the magic of gene editing. And then in Cavite State University, we have, since it's very hot or humid, we have drought-resistant rice wherein it is genetically altered or genetically modified. Okay, so genetic engineering has come a long way from random insertion of foreign DNA to make precise edits in genomes. The increased efficiency of gene editing is due to the development of engineered nucleases as molecular scissors. So this opened up applications in gene therapy for the treatment of genetic disorders, even cancers, gene editing techniques, adding, replacing, or silencing particular genes. So the targeted gene is modification also enables the development of better transgenic plants as well as animals. So when we say transgenic, trans meaning altered, they have altered genes to become a better product. Okay, and then we also have precision medicine. So when we say precision medicine, it's the falling cost of gene editing and gene sequencing make them more routinely practiced, applied in clinical practice. It enables precision medicine, an approach that allows physicians to determine which treatment and prevention strategies will work for a specific or a particular group. Moreover, it enables personalized treatment for the treatment of several diseases, including cancer. And biotechnology startup as well are leveraging precision medicine to identify new drug targets, discover novel drugs and gene therapies that develop new drug delivery technologies. Okay. This is the gene sequencing that I have been mentioning earlier. The cost of the DNA sequencing had fallen by 5 orders of magnitude since the early 2000s, opening up a wide range of application in the industry as well. So because the DNA sequencing is actually very expensive before. But now, due to the advent of technology, there is a rampant decrease on the cost of your DNA sequencing. So the reduced cost of sequencing whole genome allows the identification of pediatric disorders, personalized treatments, and setting up of large cohorts with extensive phenotyping. So sequencing also presents a rapid and inexpensive method to detect the presence of microbes, ranging from detection of pathogens. So when we say pathogens, these are the organism that causes diseases, and dairy samples to beneficial soil microbes. Biotechnology startups are innovating with new sequencing technologies as well as novel application by gene sequencing. And then we also have biomanufacturing. So when we say biomanufacturing, it utilizes biological system for the production of medical products and therapies, biomaterials, food and beverages, and specialty chemicals. So startups are advancing different cell cultures, fermentation, and recombinant production technologies to make biomanufacturing inexpensive and scalable. The use of biological raw materials also make it comparatively more sustainable as compared to the other manufacturing paradigms. So the industry's production models are also adapting machine learning and automation by integrating industry models, biotechnology startups, and bioprocessing to optimize each step of production process. That is biomanufacturing. Okay, the next one is synthetic biology. So when we say synthetic biology, these are startups work on challenges ranging from computational drug design and cellular agriculture to microbiome-based solution. So here, bacteria cell factories provide a high yield of valuable biochemicals for applications in pharmacy, materials, and food. And moving beyond microbes, startups are developing mammalian synthetic biology solutions as well. Okay, so we now have the bioprinting. So for the bioprinting, with the introduction of additive manufacturing in biotechnology, bioprinting startups offer a wide range of materials as well as products. These startups utilize bioprinters that work with bioinks developed from bio-based materials or biomaterials. For medical applications, cells act as substrates and grow around scaffold. This enables the development of bone, skin, or vascular grafts from the patient's own cells for personalized medicine. Because if we are going to get grafts or other organs from another institution, another person rather, there is a high tendency for rejection. But if, example, the skin graft is coming from the same person, the tendency is to the lesser tendency of rejecting the organ itself. Since when you are putting another organ or another tissue from another individual into another individual, of course, our body would tend to detect it as foreign. And everything that is foreign in our body, the default is to reject it. But if the organ is coming from our own body, then there is a lesser tendency for rejection to occur. So that is bioprinting. Okay. The next one is microfluidics. So when we say microfluidics, it is the interest of microfluids in biotechnology industry stems from the need for lab-on-a-chip devices. So these miniaturized labs allow inexpensive and rapid testing of infectious diseases, facilitating point-of-care diagnostics. So startups are also developing paper-based microfluidics for diagnostic and environmental monitoring as well. So here, the technology finds more biopharma applications in organ-on-a-chip devices that simulates the physiology of organs or organ type of small chips. So we have chips there that would identify or would determine if there are some disabilities in the organ itself. It mimics the organ itself, actually. Okay, and then we have the tissue engineering. So for the tissue engineering startups have grown sharply in number of recent years, thanks to a large part of developments in bioprinting and microfluids. It enables the creation of autologous tissue grafts to treat burns or organ transplantation, as well as regenerative medicine. So traditionally, they are limited to biomedical applications. So startups are engineered tissues to create suitable alternatives to animal production, such as meat or leather. However, this needs to reach an enormous scale for the food products to be cost comparative or animal-based products. Okay, and then we have the leverage data analytics and the artificial intelligence. This is the rapid computation of large amount of data that allows researchers to visualize single molecules within cells in real time. So combining today's data analytics and artificial intelligence, life scientists are able to visualize interaction between novel therapeutics and therapeutics in their targets. Okay, so these are the emerging trends. I guess this is my last slide. So these are the emerging trends in the health sciences. We have the neurofeedback. This is to summarize my discussion. We have the neurofeedback, the gene therapy, the autoimmune response, the cyber biology security, the telehealth, which is now famous nowadays. In Indonesia, do you also practice telehealth, wherein teleconsultation is now being practiced? We also have data sharing and artificial intelligence. So to sum it off, these are all the emerging trends in terms of life sciences when it comes to medicine. So I guess that ends my presentation. Thank you so much for listening.
Yes, thank you, Prof. Fernie. I think it's come to us at the question and answer session. Please, who will give any question, just raise your hand and then mention your name, just usual. Maybe, yes, okay.
My name is Fitrotin Amrul Farida. I'm from Informatic Engineering. My question is, what the examples of application of biotechnology in environment?
I didn't get the question. What's
The application
Of biotechnology in
environment.
So there are many applications of biotechnology in the environment. Example, in terms of data science, or we have what we call the prospecting of an area, example. So if we, or mapping in the area. So we have what we call the biosensor. Example, in the fields of coconut plantation. So we could identify, so in biosensing, there is an example, some kind of sort of camera that is moving around the area, wherein there can see what are the different crop, or what are the different insects that are harmful to crops in the area. And with that, they could map which type of, or which coconut in the area is infested by those types of insects. And with that, they could totally eradicate that area so that it won't be able to spread. Another thing is that through biosensor, they can actually determine or identify what are the possible other insects or enemy that could hamper the increase in number of the specific parasites that are harming the crops or harming the coconut. So that is one example of application of biotechnology in the area. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next question, maybe? Yes, okay.
My name is Firliana from Chemical Engineering. Sorry. The question is, do the synthesis biology has negative effect for human being?
Please repeat again.
Do the synthesis biology has negative effect for human being? Thank you.
Okay, so is synthetic biology harmful to human being? Is that what you're asking? Actually, that is actually debatable because since at times when we are talking about synthetic, there is a connotation that it's bad for the environment, it is bad for the health, but actually biologists are very careful in creating or in the application of synthetic biology. They see to it that every material or every aspect before they release it for the consumption of the public or the consumption of the environment as well, they see to it that it is safe for the environment. So before they tend to release it, it goes a series of testing, it goes a series of research before they can claim that it is good for human beings. So they rest assured that it's not bad for human as well as the environment.
That's very good. Okay. Okay, the next question maybe. We still have much time, I think, more than 30 minutes. Yes, okay. Oh, wait a minute. Gantian ya.
Check. Let me introduce myself. My name is Haji Pato Rahman from Informatic Engineering Study Program. My question is, how do we build creative thinking? Thank you.
Excuse me?
How do we build creative thinking? Creative thinking. How do we build creative thinking?
Creativity, okay. How to rebuild creativity? How to rebuild creativity?
Okay, your question is how do we reveal, create, reveal? Rebuild, yes. Okay, so how are we able to rebuild creativity? Is that your question?
Is it right?
How are we going to rebuild creativity?
Creativity.
Okay, so how are we going to rebuild creativity? So when you are being exposed to different types of environment, so that is the time that we can rebuild creativity. For one, reading is a good example on how we can rebuild creativity. Interacting with your peers, reading, and then even watching or building things that could enhance our creativity. Not relying on artificial intelligence could trigger creativity. Of course, it is debatable if the artificial intelligence is good for our creativity. But actually, artificial intelligence and creativity should go hand in hand. Because when you want to build things, of course, that could release your inner sense of creativity. Reading, for one, is a very good thing that we can reveal our creativity. Working with other people or collaborating with your peers as well as with your instructors or teachers, that is one way on how you can rebuild or rethink your creativity. But if you want to just be by yourself, then it's not a good thing that you can exercise or you can reveal. But in communicating with other people or with the community members, that is the best way on how you can relieve or you can unleash your creativity.
Oke, oke, Mas. Oh, yang belakang Mas nih depan dulu, silahkan. Tadi yang mau bertanya. Oke, next. Tadi Oh ya cewek, oke. Tadi masnya duluan di sini. Lupa tadi. Sebentar. Okay, for the next question, maybe later.
Okay, I'm sorry. My name is Ahmad Turajis. I'm from Informatic Engineering. My question is, pakai bahasa Indonesia aja ya. Apa dampak etis dari perkembangan pesat teknologi tersebut dalam ilmu kehidupan? Dampak etisnya. Dan bagaimana cara masyarakat dapat mengelola dampak tersebut secara efektif? Seperti itu. Sekian, terima kasih.
Okay.
Maybe he asked about what is the effect of the development of technology, all of this technology, and how the society to resolve or maybe to I'm sorry.
It's okay.
To resolve and to I don't know how to do this.
Okay, so the question is what is the effect of all the biological technology that I've discussed?
Yes.
Its effect where?
The effect, yes, the effect, and how to resolve of to overcome all of this.
Okay. Is he talking about negative effects?
Yes, maybe the negative effects.
Okay. So thank you so much for that question. I hope I got it correctly. Okay. I hope I got it correctly. Your question is, what are the negative effects of the technologies that I've discussed? So basically, the advent of technology, the main reason why human, I guess, we created technology is to solve problems that even our society created. So that is the main purpose. Unfortunately, some of the technologies that we build is not that good to everyone, or it's not that good to the community or to the ecology or the environment. So how do we overcome this? In time, every time that we test a product or every time that we create something, of course, right then and there, we cannot identify what are the possible defects or what are the possible things. So that is where futures thinking should set in. Because when we say futures thinking, we need to be proactive. We need to identify or determine what are the possible problems, or we need to be proactive by mitigating what could be the problems are. So every time that they release or they have this biotechnology, of course, they need to list down all the possible problems, and before it happens, they tend to create solutions right away. They have to be proactive before they release specific problems. And another problem, if I might just add, is example, we have gene sequencing or alteration of gene. The downside of it is that there is a decrease in genetic pool. So if there is a decrease in genetic pool, everyone or all of the materials will look, or all of the organisms will look the same. So in order to prevent that, we have what we call the gene bank. So this gene bank, this is where all the genes, example, we have the gene bank for the rice or for the grain of rice. So aside from the genetic engineering that they are doing for the drought resistant, for the saline resistant rice, so what they do is, aside from the decrease in the genetic pool, they see to it that intact, the genes of the other varieties of rice is still intact by having it stored in the gene bank. So in cases that gene bank is actually a very secured place, wherein even if all the other in the fields or in ecology or in the ecosystem is eradicated, there is still gene of that particular rice in the gene bank, so that in time they will be able to regrow that specific type of variety of rice. So that is how they overcome some of the problems being brought by biotechnology. I hope I answered his question and I get the question right.
It's okay. Is there any question? Okay, thank you. Okay, for the next question, maybe let's offer that.
I hope I got it right.
My name is Ata Gantari. I'm from Informatic Engineering. My question is, what is position of the human role when AI has been implemented in various sectors? Thank you.
You get it? Not clear, yes. It's not clear. Please repeat again. It's not really clear. The audio is not good, yes.
What is the position of the human role when AI has been implemented in various sectors?
What is the position of human?
Of the human role when AI has been implemented in various sectors?
What is the position of human being if the AI implemented in all of the sector? Maybe.
Okay, so your question, hi, thank you for that question. Your question, I just want to clarify it. Your question is, what is the position of human when artificial intelligence will be implemented in the society? Is that your question? In all aspects of the society. Is that your question? Okay. So, of course, I cannot speak on behalf of all the humans here. But in my opinion, of course, we'll be having divided positions on that. Of course, some of it will say that it is actually very good, just like the chat GPT. Some students are very dependent on it. But on the contrary, your instructors or the lecturers don't like ChatGPT because it forfeits the creativity of the students. And then the problem, of course, is that when you are so used to having or depending on the artificial intelligence, your sense of creativity won't or needed if that's the case. So how are we going to have a check and balance in terms of artificial intelligence? So in terms of artificial intelligence, there has to be a policy on how are we going to relate the artificial, or how are we going to regulate the artificial intelligence. But we need to embrace the fact that AI is here and it's here to stay. It is inevitable. The artificial intelligence is inevitable. So we need to embrace it, but the thing is, there has to be a regulatory body on how we could regulate on the use of the artificial intelligence. Because if we will solely rely on an artificial intelligence, of course, you won't be thinking hard, you won't be creative at all, or there are some of you who will purely rely on artificial intelligence. So there has to be a regulatory body or regulatory procedure on how we could minimize or how we could mitigate the use of the artificial intelligence. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Is it okay, the answer? Is there any other question, maybe? Oh, no? Okay. Okay, the next question.
Hello. Hello. My name is Sultan Islam. I have a question about technology changes. So, as a student, what do we need to prepare ourselves for in the face of tremendous change in technology? Yeah, that's it, my question. Or should I repeat?
Yes, yes, okay, okay. Please speak
Okay.
slowly.
My question, as a student,
As a student,
what do we need to prepare ourselves for in the face of the change, of the tremendous change in technology?
for the trend of change of technology. For the trend of change of technology.
The tremendous change in technology. Yes.
I claim climate.
Gimana?
Climate change.
No. Tremendous change or extreme changes.
Oh, I see tremendous change of technology. So, as a student, what should we need to prepare to face the tremendous?
Okay, so your question is, as a student, how are you going to prepare for the ever-changing technology, for the fast-changing technology?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that question, sir. As a student, how are you going to prepare? Of course, you need to equip yourself with the rising trends in technology. So how are you going to do that? Read a lot. You need to be, as I have mentioned earlier, you need to be equip yourselves, or you need to have good knowledge on what are the emerging trends in technology. Because if you really don't know what these technologies are all about, it would be very hard for you to embrace these types of technology. So I know that some of you are not that easy to embrace technology. But technology is here to stay. All we have to do is capacitate ourselves on how we can improve ourselves and how can we cope up with the ever-changing technology that is happening. For one, you could do your researches. Second is to identify which one of these technologies is good for you. Because it is not, you are not required to embrace all the technology that we have right now. You need to choose which type of technology is good for you, is good for your country, is good for your family. You just have to choose which technology. And with that, you need to do researches, and then you have to assess how are these technologies would help me as I prepare on for the future.
Yes, this is very good for
Thank
students.
you.
Yes, you know, this is okay. Is there any other question? Okay, the next question maybe over there.
Excuse me, madam.
Hi.
My name is Ayuba, and I am from information engineering. So, the question is, can biotechnology be made a thesis project topic? And if it's so, what can you give me some example for it?
I can't hear. Can you use the mic?
Huh?
We cannot hear you that much.
Alright. My question is, can biotechnology be, and if it's would you like to give me some example
Okay, thesis on biotechnology.
for thesis topic?
Of course. There are so many topics that you can use on in terms of biotechnology. For your thesis, are you asking me? But the thing is, what particular field are you in? Engineering? Informatics engineering. Okay. So in informatics engineering, I guess you can do that. Example, we have bioinformatics engineering as well in Cavite State University. So what they do is for the bioinformatics, they map, we have what we call the BRIGHT or the center wherein they study the bees. For the bioinformatics, what they do is that they try to plot the different types of bees inside the community of Cavite State University. So another thing is that one project of Cavite State University and De La Salle University is that they try to map using bioinformatics, they try to map the location of each specific types of coffee. And then with that, all throughout the Philippines, they try to map whether it's Robusta, Excelsa, Arabica, and so on. And then they try to map where are these coffee located. And then with that, they try to analyze what are the environmental conditions in the area wherein these specific types of coffee are thriving or growing. Example, if for the Liberica, it has to be in highlands or upper structure. In example, in Robusta, they has to be in the lower land area. So they try to map and analyze using bioinformatics on this the growers of the coffee if they could thrive in their particular area. So that's one example on how you can use biotechnology as well as in collection to bioinformatics. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. It's okay. We still have time. Maybe if someone want to ask one small question, maybe. Okay. Yes. This one's more okay.
My name is Ilma from Chemical Engineering. My question is, can GMO give benefits for people and does it has negative impact? Thank you.
Please repeat again. It's not really clear.
Can GMO give benefits for people and does it has negative impact?
Can biology has good impact?
Can GMO
GMO has
give
good
benefit
benefit
for
impact
people and
for
does
people,
it
and
has
it
negative
negative impact?
Okay. So as genetically modified, is that your question? GMOs, the genetically modified organism. Okay, so I again, in terms of genetically modified organism, that is debatable if it's harmful or not. So, as I have mentioned earlier, the one bad thing about genetically modified organism is that they tend to they tend to create genetic drift, which is only specific variety of one specific crop can be created in the area. So that is one bad effect. But the good thing about the genetically modified organ, or another bad or deleterious effect that the GMO could create is that it could, of course, it could lead to abnormality. Since you are altering the genetic component of an organism, of course, that could lead to abnormality as well. But the good thing about genetically modified organism, specifically for the produce or for the example vegetables or fruits, it creates uniformity. It creates some sort of uniform in terms of size, uniform in terms of texture. So that's one good thing about genetically modified organism. And aside from that, it can also adapt to any community or any environment that they are into because they are now genetically modified as compared to those crops or to those organisms that are in their usual habitat. They have this tendency of not that adapting to their environment well. So those are the two sides of genetically modified organism. Actually, it's always debatable if it's a good thing or a bad thing, depending on the perspective perspective of an individual.
Yes, I think that's all. Yes. You want to ask more question, maybe? That's enough. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Okay, I think we already come to the end of this session. I would like to thank you to all the participants on this today's session, and also for the Prof. Feni. Thank you very much for sharing for us the experience, knowledge, and also information.
Of course, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome. This is once again, thank you for all joining us today. Wishing you a safe and successful journey ahead, and have a great day. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Please give applause.